Let us begin. This is our subject, business analytics. Am I audible and the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is our subject, business analytics. And these are the two textbooks, one by James Ivan called as Business Analytics and the other one by Mark and Dara and Christopher by name Business Analytics Principles. And today's discussion will be on Unit 1, that is business analytics definitions, scope of business analytics, process of business analytics, and maybe relation of business analytics process and organization. And few statistical concepts we'll introduce. Okay, so statistics is spread across all the modules, all the units, and as well as statistics is the most necessary component of business analytics. So we will be covering statistics as much as possible, irrespective of in which unit it is. Someday I may start some statistics topic, you'll feel that, sir, it is here somewhere here, or you'll feel, sir, here it is there. So that's fine. And ultimately, we are going to cover all the statistical concepts as per our convenience. So, as you remember, yesterday was more an introductory kind of thing. We tried to understand what exactly is business analytics. We said for faster decision making, for problem solving, for founding new and novel knowledge. So that was the purpose of business analytics. Then we understood, now we have the terms like business analytics, web analytics, data analytics, which have replaced the older terms like business intelligence or web mining kind of thing. Now, the need of business analytics, we know global competition, need of the customer, and lot of data being generated and automated data collection through sensors and RFIDs is happening a lot. Applications of business analytics will be understanding the sentiments of the customer, will be looking at the social media contents, and accordingly will be deciding what services, what products, what brands to make. The other applications may be fraud detection, risk mitigation, how to decide the pricing of the product kind of thing. What are the challenges for business analytics? As usual, maybe skill set is not available, culture may not be there, return on investment may not be there. How to handle big data may be a challenge, technology cost, security, privacy, these may be a few of the challenges. The four types of analytics yesterday I had mentioned, one was descriptive analytics, second one was diagnostic analytics, third one was predictive analytics, and the fourth one is prescriptive analytics. As the name themselves tells, descriptive analytics deals more with summaries. Okay, so maybe you'll be putting some data in a visual form, in a graphical form, and showing quarterly business or yearly ROI kind of thing. So basically, it will be dealing with past event data and interpreting that past event data. That will help, this descriptive analytics will help in strategizing for the future. Strategizing for the future. Most of the organization, they use the descriptive analytics, lot of graphs they'll be using, lot of charts and so on. The second type of analytics is diagnostic analytics. So diagnostic analytics basically will be focusing on past performance. And the purpose of diagnostic analytics is to understand whatever happened and why it happened. And always the result of analysis is analytic dashboard. I'll show you a dashboard also in future, maybe in Tableau, maybe in some other tool. So, but you should remember that diagnostic analytics output will be an analytic dashboard. So that dashboard can be a mix of multiple things. It may be a mashup of multiple things like graphs and videos and colors and numbers and three-dimensional figures kind of thing. Now, once you start with descriptive, then you follow it up diagnostic, then you follow it up predictive, and then you follow it up with prescriptive. So they are like one after the another. If you look at predictive analytics, you know the meaning of prediction. Suppose who predicts? Somebody who has data from the past, data from the present, and analysis of past data he has, so then he can predict properly using statistics or machine learning algorithms that what may happen in the future. Okay, so that kind of things are very interesting. So predictive algorithms, machine learning algorithms will be helping us in predicting what can be predicted. Rainfall will happen or not, how much rainfall will happen, how much yield I'll get in my crops, so whether my crop will get infected. So all that, I just gave 2 3 examples, but there are many areas. So there are multiple variables which are dependent on each other. They'll be used to predict the future trend. Okay, for example, here, yeah, I have mentioned here healthcare domain. So we can predict the health risks, okay, depending on the diet, genetic composition, habits, eating habits, lifestyle, all that may be the various dependent variables, codependent variables. So I'll just repeat the 3 types which we mentioned of analytics: descriptive analytics, then the diagnostic analytics, then the predictive analytics, and then you have prescriptive analytics. So you know the meaning of prescriptive. You go to the doctor and you say, you give me a prescription, right? So what is prescriptive analytics? Once it is predicted that this may happen, this may be good or bad, and what course of action will be either stopping it if it is bad or improving it if it is good. So that's what is your prescriptive analytics. Okay. For example, here for prescriptive analytics, they are given the example of Uber or Ola. So they usually use that Gmaps, right? So what is the purpose of Gmap? Gmap will always find the best or the optimum route from the available route. So that can be an example of prescriptive analytics. That can be an example of prescriptive analytics. So let us look at the syllabus point once. We are into unit 1 and we got the subject. I received the subject just 3-4 days back. So we may be lagging behind of others, but we'll overcome that, not an issue. So business analytics, overview of business analytics, scope of business analytics process. At least with these 3, we'll try to map with the textbook which is there here, but it is not a complete textbook. Maybe only chapter 1 is available. So you can look at this book now. Business analytics principles, concepts, and application with SAS, and the authors are Mark, Dara, and Christopher. And let us map this with our syllabus prescribed textbook. So business analytics principles, concepts, and applications by Mark, Dara, Christopher. So I think we can refer this at least initially till we get the book from the library, or if we don't have in the library, then we may go for a Kindle version, buy it kind of thing, whatever. So let us go to the syllabus point which we had mentioned directly. Yeah, this is our chapter. So this chapter, our interest is in scope and process. Our interest is in scope and process, but we'll still try to cover it by looking at this Okay. This actually summarizes the evolution of business analytics. What it says is basically we had a lot of data. That data might be in Excel sheets, that data might be in my file, that data might be in my databases. Like maybe we started with databases which even you may not be knowing, like DBase, Foxpro. We learned that, but you pretty well know MongoDB or Oracle or similar related kind of databases. Is it not? So this data increase. Why this data increase? Everybody knows that data is being created. And how this data is being created? This data is being created with the help of multiple ways. One of the major source of data creation is social media. You are clicking your selfies, you are posting your videos, you are sharing everything in WhatsApp. So many things are happening, videos and images. So data even on Facebook and on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. So many social medias are available, Instagram. So that data generation is like huge, and to handle such huge data, so initially we had cloud data warehouses, then we had big data concept like Hadoops. Is it not? Now anything which doesn't come under the category of big data always will be referred as little data. Now what the author says is analytics, business intelligence. They may be referred similarly, like some author may be calling it as BI, some author may be calling it as analytics, some author may be calling it business analytics. Okay. There are subtle differences also, but let us say what this book says. Okay. According to this book, analytics is a process which uses statistics. Analytics is a process which uses statistics. It uses statistics means central tendency. Central tendency means mean, median, mode, all that. Okay. As well as it uses softwares like data mining or sorting routines and research methodologies, operations like linear programming. So look at here how he is trying to define your analytics. He says analytics is a process. Analytics is a process which has what? Statistics, which has what? Data mining, which has what? Linear programming. And all this will be used for what purpose? All this will be used for the purpose of exploring, visualizing, discovering, and communicating trends in the data, patterns in the data, novelty in the data, some new finding in the data. So that's what is your analytics. Okay. So basically you are giving data as an input to analytics, and data analytics tool will be converting that data into useful information. Okay. Here they have given the example of analytics like weather forecasting. Okay. So suppose weather forecasting department is there, what it will be doing? It will be converting a lot of data, and using statistics, it will be going to predict the weather patterns. So whether it will be rainy or not today or tomorrow, what will happen, kind of thing. Uh, as I mentioned just now, there are different types of analytics. But here in this book, he is referring three categories, but I had shown you four. Do you remember that? Here he is saying descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay. But I had also shown you one more, the after descriptive, that is diagnostic. And this informs Institute of Operation Research and Management Science organization has suggested this. This is the table for that. Descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, which I mentioned you what it is used for. But still we'll try to go what this table is saying. We'll take this as different types of analytics and compare this with the four types I mentioned here: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. And let us see what this table says. Okay, as far as descriptive analytics is concerned, here bar chart is giving the example of bar chart. Okay, uh, this age bar chart, what it is depicting? It is depicting the retail shoppers for a department store that wants to target advertising to customer by age. Okay, so I'll just uh, try to Google it and at least show you bar chart as an example. Give me a minute. Yeah, you can see so many. I'm just checking out which one just to extrapolate. Okay, we'll just extrapolate this. See here, this is the bar chart they have given, and they have done the color coding. For young adults, this blue one, classics yellow, mystery this, romance this, and so on. And this is what basically is your bar chart. So, as what we have to understand is what it is saying. If it is descriptive analytics, you may be saying that kind of charts. You may be saying that kind of charts. Let us look at predictive analytics. Okay, and here the example they have given is multiple regression used to show relationship or lack of relationship between age, weight, and exercise on diet food sales. Okay, so here you remember that when it is predictive, you try to remember that there is something called as multiple regression. There is something called as multiple regression, and I'll try to check it out if multiple regression example is there. Give me a minute, just a minute. Yeah. As you can see, there is something called as linear regression, right? So, and there is something called as multiple linear regression also. I will just pick it out what this, even here regression is shown. Let us look at what regression tells us about. I am just focusing on this theory which is there. Uh, as this Excel sheet tells us, regression is a statistical tool. What it does is establish relationship between two variables. So let us say these are the two variables, y variable and x variable. Okay. So you can have a relationship like this, y is equal to ax plus b. So y is a dependent variable here. Y is a dependent variable. X is an independent variable because y's value is dependent on x value. Y's value is dependent on x value. So y is also called as, okay guys, this I have to take, I think, 1 minute. Dynamite, I'm in class. I'll call you back. Yeah, sorry for that. Uh, as I was mentioning, regression is a statistical tool which establishes relationship between two variables. Y is a variable, X is a variable. So Y is a dependent variable, X is an independent variable. Y is called as a response variable, criteria variable, dependent variable. Okay, because its value is derived from the predictor variable. X is called as an independent variable or a predictor variable or an explanatory variable. Okay, so the value of X is derived through experiments, through experimentation. What are A and B here? Here A and B. A and B are the coefficient concepts. A and B are the coefficient concepts. A is called as the intercept and B is called as the slope. A is called as the intercept and B is called as the slope. So why we are referring this? Because we are just trying to understand this table. We are trying to understand which table. First one, we had seen the example of descriptive analytics as a bar chart. Second one, we had seen the example of predictive analytics as statistical tool usage with like linear regression, but there in the book it is mentioned as multiple linear regression. So let us look at what this linear regression is showing. This is simple linear regression actually, and the prediction happens on one variable depending on the value of another variable. Okay, so you can have this kind of prediction or you can have this kind of graph. Okay, you have x and y. So what I did here is I tried to calculate it, that formula. Remember the formula for that? What is the formula? The formula is y is equal to ax plus b, y equal to ax plus b. I'll just try to show you what I did. I have plotted the value of x, I have plotted the value of y here. Okay, so then I'll show you this at later stage also. Then because you have to understand, or at least I have to, maybe you know it, but at least I have to discuss this and then discuss this example. So similarly, you have somewhere here multiple linear regression. So as you can see in multiple linear regression, now it is not just x, you have x1, x2, x3, x4, is it not? So here x1, x2, x3, x4 will be there. Okay, so you have one dependent variable and explanatory variables are multiple. Explanatory variables are multiple, and even the intercepts and the slopes are multiple here. Intercepts and the slopes are multiple here. So that's what is the difference between simple linear regression and multiple. As of now, we are again going to discuss that and calculate also everything. But let us go back here. That was our predictive example. The third here it is mentioned prescriptive analytics. Okay, prescriptive analytics, it says that combination of decision science, management science, operation research, mathematics. Okay, example is a department store has a limited advertisement budget to target customer. There may be a linear programming model that can be used to optimally allocate the budget to various advertising media. So these are the three examples which will help us try understand the various types of analytics, which we had mentioned. Now here he is trying to define again business analytics. What it says is it's a process basically. It takes business related data, applies sequentially descriptive, predictive and prescriptive analytic component, the outcome of which will be supporting better decision making and better organizational performance. Okay, so that's what here he is trying to differentiate between BA and business analytics and simple analytics. Okay, so whatever the insight you get, they are implementable, actionable. Let us look at here what it is saying again. If it is descriptive analytics, what is the purpose? What it does? Identify trends, get a rough picture. Examples of methodologies: descriptive statistics, which includes central tendency, means mean, median, mode. Measures of dispersion means standard deviation. Okay, here he has referred those two. Predictive means, so as he mentioned here, mean, median, mode. I had shown you here. Okay, as you can see here, this is mean, this is mean, this is mean of x, this is mean of y. Means these are the x values, these are the y values. I have found out here mean of x and mean of y. Then I have found out the standard deviation of y and standard deviation of x. Then I found out the value of slope. I'll show you all this also with the help of, so here you remember that two terms are used. One term is central tendency, which involves mean, median, mode. The other term is dispersion, which involves standard deviation. So we'll try to quickly check it out if that is there with us. Okay. These are the statistical terms, mean, median, and mode. They are called as central tendencies. They are called as central tendencies. What is a mean? Mean is the average. The mean is the average. By the way, are you all listening to me? Am I making sense to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Who is there in the class? Ashok is there, Naveen is there, and Tejasvi is there. Right. I think we are missing two guys. One is Idris and the other one, I forgot the name. Whatever.
Shivaji.
Shivaji. Yeah. So, as you can see, there are 10 numbers here. What is the mean? Mean actually is the average. So I am just adding all these 10 numbers and dividing it by 10. So that becomes my mean. Okay. What is the median? Okay. For median, the input is always ordered set of data. For example, this is an ordered set of data. And the middle value you are picking up. So from this ordered set of data, the middle value is 4. So this is the median. But as these are odd numbers, then it is easy to pick up the middle. But if it is even one, I know that I have to pick up these two values, 4 and 5. The middle one and the next. So two middle data points rather. So here you're adding 4 plus 5 and your median is 4.5. So you have to remember what is mean now. What is mean? Mean is the average. Then you have to remember what is median. For median, the input is ordered data. So middle value is median. Middle value. Okay, here we are taking the average of them. What is mode? Mode is the most common number. For example, here in this list, which is the most common number, which is glaringly visible, is 2. 2 is the most common number. Actually, this is the tool I had used to explain to the students. I'll be taking that at a later stage. I am just trying to show you the standard deviation part. Okay, so with the help of this data, we'll try to understand what exactly is standard deviation. Okay, so here, this is my data 11, and these are my data points. If I count my data points, hopefully they are 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Okay, but I have not personally calculated this, but I am assuming that this is correct. But you understand the concept of this. Okay, this is my data. This is my data points, right? So how to calculate the mean, you know? How to calculate the mean, you know, right? What is the mean? You will be adding all these numbers and you will be dividing them by 17. Though here it is mentioned as 16, you will be dividing them by 17. Or there may be some row to be excluded and we are assuming that we are dividing by 17. So this is the mean of the number. So difference you are finding between the data point and the mean. So 11 minus 32 is minus 21. 16 minus 32 is minus 16. So like that you are finding out the difference. Like that you are finding out the difference. After finding the difference, for each difference you are calculating the square of that. Okay. Square of minus 21 is 441. Square of minus 16 is 256. Square of minus 13 is 169. So like that you are finding the squared difference. Now the sum of that all that square difference, the sum of that all that square difference, you are getting it. So that is called as the variance. That is called as the variance. Okay. So that is called as the variance. Now after that, how to calculate the standard deviation? To calculate the standard deviation, you are just finding out the square root of the variance. You are just finding out the square root of the variance. So let us see here how did I find out the standard deviation? So for this, I had used that Excel formula. Okay, so you know how to use Excel hopefully. And here in Excel, you may be using which one? Mm, okay, I'll not fall into this right now. But remember that you are going to use standard deviation from using the formula from this formula bar, using the formula from this formula bar. And I'll be explaining all this by doing again, showing you again as and when the syllabus is referred. So this is what is your standard deviation. So, oh, 1 minute. Yeah. So here, as you can see, descriptive methodologies we have seen here: mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. Okay. Then you also have probability. You have distribution, probability distribution, sampling methods. Now, as far as predictive analytics is concerned, so it is used to build models. These models will be predicting the future trends. These models will be predicting the future trends. For this, what methodologies can be used? Multiple regression and ANOVA. So again, I'll show you multiple regression and ANOVA. Okay. So this is multiple regression example which I had shown you, or I will show you in future. And again, there may be ANOVA. Yeah, here. So this is analysis of variance. This is analysis of variance. So these are various tools which will be uh, used for predictive analytics. As far as prescriptive analytics is concerned, you will be using linear programming and decision theory. You will be using linear programming and decision theory. Now coming to BI, business intelligence. As in my theory, I had mentioned that BI is now referred as BA. Okay, but let us see what this book says. It is a BI is business intelligence. It is a set of processes and technologies. Again, data conversion will happen. Meaningful data will come. Meaningful information will come. Okay, BI is a broader subject. It has analytics, it has business analytics, and it has information system, according to Bartlett. Some others believe that BI may basically consist of collecting, storing, and exploring the large database organizations for better decision making and planning. So majority of them accept that the major component of BI involves storing an organization data, storing the data on cloud storage or on data warehouse or in data warehouse. So data warehouse is not an analytics tool. Okay, it is a storage tool. It is a storage tool. But that data can be used for analysis. That data can be used for analysis. So BI business intelligence basically focuses on querying and reporting on that data. So suppose in a data warehouse, huge data is stored. You can ask for quarterly sales of a person, quarterly sales of a country, quarterly sales of a state. So like that, that kind of information can be done. Okay, so BI basically is querying and reporting. BI usually answers what's happening, where it is happening, what actions are needed, depending on prior experience. That is BI's focus, business intelligence. Business analytics can answer something like why it is happening, what are the new trends, what will happen next, what is the best course of action for the future. This is what is the subtle difference between BI and BA. BI stands for business intelligence and BA stands for business analytics. So what BI includes, business analytics includes same procedure as analytics, but it also has additional requirement. What is the additional requirement? Whatever the output of the analytics is there, that must make an impact on the business performance. That not just impact, measurable impact on the business performance. So how much sales is increased, how much employee retention happened, how much health or how much COVID numbers are decreased. So that kind of thing. BA business analytics has results like business intelligence. but they also explain why, not just reporting and storing. Again, here few characteristics of analytics BA and BI are mentioned. Let us say the characteristics is business performance planning role. So analytic will be telling us what is happening, what will be happening. Business analytics is telling us what is happening now, what will be happening, what is the best strategy to deal with. BI will be telling what is happening now, what we have done in the past to deal with it. Okay. So I'll just take few of them, not all of them. So will it use descriptive? Yes. Yes, yes, all of them. Predictive? Yes, yes. But BI will not use predictive. Remember here. Prescriptive? Yes, yes. But BI will not use. Use of all three combination? No. Analytics will not use, but BA will use. Even BI will not use. Business focus? Yes for BA, not for uh, or maybe for analytics, and yes for BI. So storing data is the focus, maintaining data is the focus, not at all. So if you are storing data and maintaining data, that does not come under analytics or business intelligence. So focus is required for improving business value and performance. Yes for business analytics, no for analytics, and no for business intelligence. So hopefully this discussion till now has helped you understand what is the difference between analytics, business analytics, and business intelligence. So let us look at this topic now, business analytic process. But again, let us map this with our syllabus data point. What is our scope of business analytics is covered actually, that prescriptive, predictive, those three are the scope. Business analytic process, the diagram hopefully will elaborate on that. So business analytics process. It the book says here there are three major component steps applied sequentially. What are those three major component steps? First, descriptive analytics is applied, then predictive analytics is applied, then prescriptive analytics is applied. Okay, and now we know what is descriptive, what is predictive, what is prescriptive, because we had taken the examples like bar chart. We said descriptive, is it not? Then multiple linear regression, predictive, is it not? Then linear programming, prescriptive, is it not? So we remember all of that. Now, what is the outcome of the entire business analytics process? Measurable increase in business value and performance. Okay. So the staff performance should increase, the student performance should increase, the health performance should increase. So like that, and that is measurable, that is proved that it happened. So that is what is the significance of business analytics. So again, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive, it is whatever the data points are mentioned here or above, the same data points are mentioned in the business analytics process also. Business analytics process also. Okay. So I will upload this so that you will be able to go through this. And explanation is just combination of whatever discussion which we have seen. So that is what is our business analytics process. That is what is our business analytics process. Now coming to types of data measurement, we'll be referring this at a later stage. What we'll do is we'll just look at that mean, median, and standard deviation which we had covered. So here, as you can see, we had seen mean as an average, median as a middle value, and mode as the very repetitive value in the data set. Then we had seen how to calculate standard deviation. We said that standard deviation is just a square root of variance. And how to calculate variance? We had seen that a table where we took the data point, took the mean, found out the difference, and then we took the square of the difference. And all the square of the differences we added up. Then we calculated the variance. After the variance, that square root when we take, that becomes your standard deviation. That becomes your standard deviation. So what I will try to do is, I request you to post one example each. One example is, just jot down on a paper of one example each related to mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. And you can just share me on WhatsApp. That will be enough. So as I told you,